Hello my hungry friends! Today we're making a delicious Polish dill soup with dropped dumplings. Zupa koperkowa I lane kluski. Welcome back to Polish Kitchen, friends! Today we're making a classic Polish soup made with dill. We're making dill soup. Zupa koperkowa. Surprise!
I'm surprised.
Have you ever had dill soup?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I don't think you have. Yeah,
I've had pickle soup and tripe soup and...
This is a flavor of my childhood. And you would ask, why would someone make soup out of only dill?
Why would you make soup out of only dill?
Because why not? Because there's lots of it. And if you're following Lent, which Poles used to do a lot when these recipes were created, they had to come up with soups or foods or dishes that they could eat all the time that didn't have meat in them. And if you go out to any Polish garden, you will see just a sea of dill. So we're making soup out of dill today. So I have about 2 quarts, 2 liters of broth in my pot. You can do either vegetable broth or you can do chicken broth if you're going meatless. And really the soup only takes like a couple minutes to make once you have the broth. And we're also with our soup, I'm gonna show you how to make, in Polish they're called lane kluski, and they are not noodles, but they are
Drop dumplings?
drop dumplings, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But they're different from the big drop dumplings. They're poured dumplings, so they're little tiny pieces in there.
Spatzel-like?
Even smaller. So these dumplings you can do with any soup, not only this dill soup, but since I'm making dill soup today, that's what I'm going to show you. So to start with, I'm going to start heating my my broth. And for the 2 liters or 2 quarts, I'm going to use, since it's dill soup, we want to use a lot because that's our main flavor. Probably about 3 tablespoons. And I'm just I'm just kind of pinching off the smaller pieces of dill. Normally in like salads and stuff, I use the thick stems as well, but I feel in the soup, it's kind of nice when you have the smaller pieces. And these dumplings, how did you call them?
I said drop dumplings.
Yeah, those poured dumplings, Kluski lane, I used to eat with milk soup. This is another one that is not normally known in the States. Milk soup, which is just hot milk. We would eat it for breakfast like Americans do cereal, cold cereal. We would do hot milk soup, and I absolutely hated it. I did not want to eat it. What's up?
Okay. So you warmed up milk.
Yeah.
And then you called it soup.
Right, we called it zupa mleczna.
But nothing else went in it but milk.
Milk, yep, and then some kind of either cereal or some kind of grain, or the only one I liked was pasta. So you boil noodles, I know, and you put it in the hot milk and you eat it for breakfast. That's the only one I could tolerate, but.
Ooh.
And then there's, oats that would go in it for a little bit thicker version of your oatmeal. Maybe with a little bit of honey. What else? And then these Kluski lane, those poured dumplings, which they're perfect when you have small children at home and they're just learning to eat different textures and flavors. I don't like this one. I'm gonna move this over here. They're not very big and kids can't choke on them, so I remember making this for our daughter when she was little, and my mom made these a lot for us when we were kids, those Kluski lane. So with the dill, I washed it and I trimmed off the smaller branches or twigs, whatever, and I'm just gonna give this a chop.
Pretty fine chop.
Very fine, but we're not gonna spend too much time thinking about, you know, how big. That's probably good. So what do I have? Like one, probably two, 3 tablespoons. And I'll set this aside for right now and wait for our broth to come to boil, which we're almost there. And then the soup also will get, I have full fat cream. I have about 3/4 cup, and I have a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and that's gonna go in here, and this is gonna thicken our soup a little bit and give us a little bit of that creamy flavor. I'm just gonna get a lid. And I like mixing this kind of stuff in the jar because I can shake it up and get rid of the lumps. So this is gonna be nice and fatty, huh? Since
Heart healthy.
Heart healthy, that's what we're doing. So I got a little bit of flour on the lid here. Trying to make sure this gets all mixed in. And now, if we just poured this into the hot soup, I'm afraid it could have curdled. So what I like to do is add a little bit of soup to the cold cream to temper it. I think it's called tempering. And so it kind of comes up to temperature a little bit, and they get to know each other a little bit better. So then when we pour it into, so the soup is boiling, I'm gonna just dump this dill in here and turn this down. This soup really just takes a couple minutes to make once you have the broth. And that's gonna start giving us nice flavor. I'm gonna do another spoon. And maybe just one more just to be sure. That should do her. And then I'm gonna slowly pour this into my soup and hope for the best. And now we want to bring this to boil so it thickens for us. And then as this is coming up to boil, we'll do our dumpling real quick. So I have this bowl in here, and all you're gonna do is just take an egg, and it's gonna be egg, flour, and maybe a tiny bit of water. That kind of depends on how big the egg is and how watery this is gonna be. So we want this dumpling batter to be kind of on a watery side. So I'm gonna whisk this and get a little bit of bubbles in there. There used to be a, we call it trzepaczka, which is a whipper. We would translate it into a whipper. And it's this contraption in triangular shape with like rounds going up. Have you seen that? And then the wooden stick, and you put that in and you whip it. Whip your eggs. So we want to give this air and some bubbles. Maybe a little bit of, just a pinch of salt, small pinch. Like this. And then we're gonna add, whoopsie, a little bit of flour. So probably 2 tablespoons per each egg, kind of depending how big your egg is. But we're gonna start with 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna whisk this some more. Give this some air. So this is gonna start thickening. It's kind of becoming a little bit thicker. I'm gonna do 1 more tablespoon. And we don't want it as thick as your pancake batter. There we go. Whew. I think I'm gonna do, well, maybe not. I thought maybe one more, but I think this is it. And now when this comes to boil, this is thickening, and the dill will kind of incorporate a little bit better with it. Let this come to a boil. Okay, maybe we'll give this a couple minutes to come to a boil. Oh, no, there it is. Come look. So it's simmering. I'm gonna just turn this down as low as I can go. And we're gonna pour our dumpling, or our batter. See? And this, so you gotta kind of just keep dropping it with like a stream, and it'll create these little tiny dumplings, which kind of look like just cooked egg on top. And that's all it is. I'm gonna grab my other spatula and just drag it in there. And mix this in. And there's your dumpling. And there's your soup. Pretty easy, eh?
It's crazy cool. We've been married almost 20 years. You've never made this for me.
No, my fault, eh? I know, I used to love these little on the Kluski. My mom made this for me a lot. They're kind of, you can't even, they're like little fluffy air, you know, there's really nothing to it. Very economical as well. So into tasting, this is boiling again, so I'm gonna turn this off, and you're gonna get the true opinion of someone who's never actually had this before.
Who's that?
Not me.
Uh-oh.
But if you want the recipe for this soup, go to polishyourkitchen.com, and into soup section, please subscribe to my channel and come with us when we leave the kitchen and go exploring. And taste the soup with us. Looks fresh. Do you want to go, or should I taste it?
I want to taste it.
It's not very thick either.
Did you want it thicker?
I didn't want it thicker, no.
Oh.
So you'll be surprised. It's definitely the chicken soup. I use chicken soup, comes through in the flavor. So it's like a creamy chicken soup with dill. Very tasty, and those little dumplings don't give out a lot of flavor. So it's a nice filling. I like it. I'm gonna try it. It's not gonna drip on the camera.
That's really good.
Is it? You like it?
I like it.
All right. That's our episode, friends. Please subscribe to the channel and come along on Friday to explore Poland outside our kitchen. Okay?
Go to Instagram at polishyourkitchen.com. Hit up the merch store on www.polishyourkitchen.com and get a wonderful pierogi maker
Apron.
thing or some such stuff. Just search around, see what's out there.
Bye.
No, smacznego.
We'll see you next time. Smacznego.